verify, because I saw the little buffering circle. So I restarted the video. Hopefully that doesn't mess everybody up. Okay. Okay, good. You made it. Okay, I'm glad Lola found me. Alright, we are done with the ginger bits. Now, to add, actually I need to add some shadowing. To here. I'm going to finish up Gonzo here, and then I've decided for the background we're going to do the helicopter, 100% good. Beatrice the hummingbird. The TV, he tends to go behind and get in trouble for that. And then someone else mentioned the dinosaur, and I am going to put the dinosaur on the TV, and then we have the TV remote. For those that are familiar with the Gonzo lore. There we go. Okay. And he doesn't really have too much for stripes. That's too light. And yes, the dinosaur, which I haven't seen him get in trouble with the dinosaur lately. But, oh, Katydid is approaching. Hi, Katy Pillar. Oh, I'm glad you're back, Lola. You're back, and Katydid is back. You investigating what I'm doing? What do you think of Gonzo, huh? Do the vibes feel right? She's blind, so I can't ask her what she thinks of what she sees. So, for anybody not familiar with Katydid. So, I wonder if Sir Plays-A-Lot will join us today. I know he had the great scissor finding quest yesterday. Ooh, yeah. I tend to start off with like a lot of viewers, and then it tends to dwindle down to those who are just actually interested in the cat. Yeah, maybe he's off playing with the scissors. Well, hopefully he isn't searching for them after having the great search. Alright, so TV stand. I'm just going to do like an old style tube TV. I'm going to put Beatrice here. And I did look up hummingbirds earlier. And also someone was kind enough to, I think it was Eli, was kind enough to send me a picture, so I have her coloring. Because usually you think of hummingbirds and they're quite colorful. But Beatrice is actually a gray hummingbird. Put an antenna on the TV. I doubt they have an old style tube TV, but I like that. Okay, and then I think I might do this with the brush end of one of my dual brush pens. All right, the helicopter. Hold on, I did look up a picture of the helicopter. Let me load it up real quick. Put down the Gonzo picture. It's not a very good one because it's just a screenshot. from my phone, but all right. Looks like it's actually the body is shaped like this. I'm going to be dangerous and just freehand it with the pen. Oh, hello. I'm not sure how to say your name, but hello. And then here's where the blades are. Like that. Well, it's not bad for freehanding. Oh, you're carrying on with your story. Oh, good. Yes, do not give up on your story. What genre is your story going to be? Like, is it a mystery or a love story or history? What genre is your story going to be? Oh, are there blades at the end of the helicopter? I feel like there would be. Um, I'm just gonna. Oh, a medical story. Interesting. I'm just gonna freehand like that. And then there's a great big, like that. Okay. So there's the helicopter. And then let me pull up the dinosaur picture. I'm also gonna save the Beatrice picture to my screen so I can get that big. Oh, I already have. The dinosaur makes me think of like a Godzilla type thing. So I'm gonna give him a clawed hand like that. Give him spikes. Like that. There we go. So he's approaching on the TV. Excuse me. Alrighty. Now to do some erasing. And then we can add the background coloring. I think I'm going to do Beatrice first. Hello, Crosser Blocks. How are you today? I am working on a cat named Gonzo. If you are not familiar with Gonzo, we are now adding his background. Oh, you must be a teenager doing the silly little 6'7" thing. I thought being on summer break I wouldn't have to hear that, but yeah, I agree. Thank you, Lola. Please don't spam the 6'7". I know you kids think it's all the rage, but it's really just annoying. Yeah, we can start with this one. Yeah, I don't at the moment. I don't know how to like kick somebody out of my live viewing, but I will say if someone is inappropriate in my comments or chat and is like all 6'7" when we've asked them to stop, that would cause me to look into how to um look into how to kick somebody out of my streaming, which is not something I really want to do. But I appreciate that you have stopped. Thank you. Okay. can't really see her wings because in the picture Eli gave me, her wings were in motion. So I'm just going to do that. Oh, now you're giving angry face emojis. Are you angry about what I said? It is the fact of life. I know people tend to get obsessed with certain fads, but then there are other people who are not obsessed with them. And we all just have to go along with that. And then her tail has... All right. And her little feet. Okay, so there's Beatrice. Thank you. Now I think I'm going to work on... I think I'm going to do this blue. Since the opposite of orange on this color wheel is blue, I'm going to do that in blue. And I'm going to do it with the brush end of my markers. Oh, just ignore it, Lola, if you're responding to him saying he's a bot. I have found with my students, a lot of times if I ignore silly things like that, they realize no one's going to give them any attention. And they stop or they leave. So I'm just going to... If cross or block says useful, constructive things, then I will engage with them. If they do weird, spammy things, I'm going to completely ignore it. Yes, I think I'm going to do this brownish gray for the TV frame. As I stated before, I will block people or kick them out if they cannot respect what other people, not just myself, but others have asked you to stop. And you did stop with the other thing. So long as you can be respectful and kind and engage with us in an appropriate way, then you are absolutely free to be here and hang out with us. I do not wish to learn how to block people and kick them out, but if that becomes a necessary skill that I need, it is something I will look into. What kind of creative things do you like to do, cross or blocks? Lola is a writer, and I'm not good at writing. I'm better at visual. So what do you like to do for creativity? Oh, play Rivals. Okay. Is that a type of video game? Yes, Ellie, I will continue to make sure I stay focused on. Oh, it's a Roblox game. A lot of my students like Roblox. On Roblox, I know like on Minecraft you can build and create. Is that possible on Roblox as well, where you can create things? If you choose to subscribe to me, that is absolutely your choice. It's not something I can force you to do. Yeah, I don't have any godsons or grandchildren, or any regular children. I just have my students. And Roblox and Minecraft are games they like to play. That and something about a snake. Little big snake. I think that's starting to fall out of favor, though. Um, I think Little Big Snake got blocked on their iPads, which is why it's no longer the big thing. But the district did add a like Minecraft learning app where I think if they do math problems, like they get to play for so long, and then they have to do a math problem or something like that, and then they get more minutes, or the math earns them things. I'm not fully sure. They don't get iPad free time very often in the art room. iPads are mostly used in my classroom for looking up images to help them source. Thank you. Normally, I wouldn't keep working on the background on a live video. Normally, I would, because I was live yesterday working on Gonzo. But several people stated they wanted to come back and see it finished. And yesterday, I only had the helicopter sketched and the remote use. Well, I will say drawing is not everyone's gift. That is the nice thing about art. There is fiber art. I also crochet. There's sculpture with metal, with clay, welding, plaster sculpture. There's a lot of different ways to make art, digital art. So one does not have to be able to draw to be able to do art. If my memory serves me right, the dinosaur is green. That's why in my classroom I have us try many mediums. It's like if someone say they suck at painting. Well, have you tried watercolor painting? Have you tried ink painting, oil painting, acrylic painting, yarn painting? There's so many different ways to create art. And for some people, creating visual things. Oh, math skills are good. And, math skills can apply to art. There are a lot of, like, Mondrian did a lot of basic, I wouldn't say necessarily basic, geometric shapes, straight lines, horizontal lines. It's a lot of math. I'm going to test some colors to possibly do for TV now. I want to kind of do a layering of blues, like the TV just has a blue background. These two are very similar. Are they the same number? No, they're not. That one's too dark. Let's try one more. Yeah, I like that one. This one. Which one's this again? And I'm looking for this guy. Nope. Yep, okay. So those are the three colors I'm going to use for the TV. Alrighty. Keep forgetting which one's which. Alright, back to... It's another thing I suggest to my student is they're like, well, what does this color look like? Is it purple or is it blue or is it black? Well, test it on the back. Or I create journals for them. I tell them open up to one of their scratch papers in your journal and test it out. Never put a color on your artwork if you're not sure of its exact color. Goodbye, crosser blocks. Always test out a color. There are some colors that I'm very familiar with, like the ones I use for ginger cats, and my grayscale. I use those a lot with a lot of cats. Also, the pink I use for nose, the pink I use for inside of ears. So some of my colors I'm very familiar with, and I'll go right into them. But a lot of them I will test. Because I don't want to put down a color and be like, oh, dag nabbit. That's not what I wanted. And then you have to problem solve. And, like I always tell my students, if you don't tell anybody that you made an oops, you can um, problem solve, and then just tell people it was a creative choice. Oh, now it wants us to do a sticker. Favorite pasta shape. I do not like, what's the one my parents use when they make goulash? I think it's like the textured, elbowy one. I like bow ties. I like the skinny elbows like you get in Kraft mac and cheese, and the shells you get in Velveeta. But I don't like that textured one. Well, I just don't like the goulash, so the textured one also. It's disgusting. I like math. Certain parts of it I'm strong at. I like multiplication and addition and subtraction. I really don't like division too much. I don't really like fractions. If I have to do fractions, I'll translate them into decimals and work from there. Um, I did almost decide to become a math teacher, get dual endorsed in art and math when I was in college. But then I was like, then I'll have to teach high school or middle school. And they're like, oh, this sucks. When are we going to actually use this? I hate this. What is this useful for? And they would have just sucked the fun of for math out from me. So I decided to just stick with art. I like doing statistics. Statistics was my favorite um, math class that I took. I took it in high school and then I took it virtually in college. I like doing that. Algebra 3 was fun as well. I never did do the calculus. Just didn't have a desire to go to that route. I took the statistics route instead. All right, TV there's done. Oh, I need to do the base here for the TV. Do a shadow behind Beatrice, under her. Statistics and English. Man, your fire alarm went off again. Is somebody pulling the fire alarm or is it just malfunctioning? Because if somebody's pulling it, they need to, like, I don't know, my schools, I mean, I am in the US. There's cameras in the hallways and they would be looking that up. But I'm not sure. Do UK schools have um, cameras in the hallways? Now, when it went off, did it go off like continuously until someone turned it off, or did it just like bleep? All right, there's that. There's that. All right, now I think we're gonna do, let's see, how does this brown look? Yep, I'll do this brown for the table here. And the fire alarms triggers are locked for certain. Oh. Well, I guess if someone pulls it, then they want footage of who pulled it. My dad once told me, but now he's admitted it's not true, but I think it should be true, that when you pull the fire alarm, the little white lever, I don't know if they look the same in the UK as they do here, um, that there's a little glass vial of fluid that breaks when you pull the alarm, and puts a liquid on your hands that is like just clear. But then if they shine a UV light on your hands, it glows, so they can like catch you if you're the one who pulled it. So my dad, he even actually came to a class I was subbing at one time and told the students that if they pull the alarm, their hands would get like fluorescent UV ink on them. And I was like, well, that's rather ingenious. I like that idea. Um, but then later he told me that's not true. And considering he's an electrician that works with alarms and generators and all those things, I mean, I'd believe him. Well, I mean, if you pulled the alarm and there was a real fire, I don't think they would really care who pulled it. I don't think they'd go around scanning hands or looking at the camera. I mean, unless they wanted to give you an award for being the one who noticed it and pulled the alarm. I think those measures would mostly be for if someone kept pulling it as a prank to disrupt a business or a school setting, then they could find the culprit. Yes, we see that you're back. So when the alarms went off, Lola, did you guys have to evacuate the school? Did you have to leave the building? Or did everybody just assume it was another malfunction prank thing and just kept on doing school stuff? Oh, we stood outside, like in the hallway? Man, in the hallway, the alarms sound worse than they do in the classrooms at my school. I don't think I've ever heard the fire. I teach at two different schools since I'm an art teacher, and both are small schools, so they don't need me all 5 days of the week. And one of my schools I've been at for 10 years, so I have heard the fire alarms there when we do drills. But my other school, I've only been at there 2 years, and I don't think they've ever set off the alarms for our drills. We have a lot of special needs students there with sensory um, needs. So sometimes they just announce it on the walkie-talkies or the intercom that we're going to do which is good because then it doesn't stress them out unnecessarily. All right, I'm almost done with the table. Then I'll do the shadow behind the remote. And since the TV light would be shining at the remote, the shadow would mostly be back here. There we go. All right, put that one back. I think that was there. Now we need to do some buttons. There's usually a red button at top for power. And then because, no, then our other buttons are usually white, but because this blue light would be shining on the TV, I'm going to do kind of a light blue. And just do buttons like that. He also gets in trouble for knocking the remote off the counter. And then I think I'm going to do 55. 55 too dark? No, I like 55. 55 will be good for the remote. And it'll allow me to add some shadowing without it being too dark too, that it would blend in with the table. I think their coffee table's brown wood. I don't know for sure. Not necessarily doing it 100% realistic, obviously. To Gonzo's home. And for any of those with me that are not usually with me, thank you, Lola. I can only go until 6 p.m. my time, which will be in 26 minutes, because my cat has to have her medication and also her dinner. She thinks the medication is. Yes, Lola, since I'm a teacher, I'm quite used to ignoring the antics of some people. and I am a teacher of kindergarten through 5th grade. So I'm used to ignoring the antics of, yes, you should post your art. Where would you post them? Like, do you have a social media? Or I remember when I was in school, DeviantArt was the website where we all posted our art. But I don't think DeviantArt is all that in anymore. I don't think Facebook is too much either. Some people are still on Twitter. Um, that is what it is. Oh, on your YouTube. Okay. So like how you can I did discover that on YouTube you can like post images for people to comment on. No, if she was going to post it to sell, I would say Etsy would be a better place than eBay. There we go. I don't know, it's got some shadowing there. Now I've got to do the helicopter. Let me pull back up the helicopter picture here. All right, it's mostly yellow, so we're going to find a nice yellow here. Yep, that'll work. True, yes, you are writing a story. So, I know for writers, there's the fanfiction.net and archive of our own dot, I don't know what the dot is for that one, .org, .net, that some people will, though I think with fanfiction.net, you have to put it in a specific category for a certain show or book, whereas I think archive of our own, you can do more original stories. Unless it's a fan-based story based off, like, an actual TV show. I don't think as many people go to fanfiction.net anymore. That's also a site that seems to have died out. That was the place to read fan fiction when I was younger. I will say Archive of Our Own has a much larger variety. Oh, you're building it from scratch. Yes. Well, then maybe you should just post teasers, because then, like, if you really want to publish it and have a story, you don't want to have it completely out there for anyone to steal. And I don't know if you can publish a story, like self-publish or full publisher, if it's been posted on a fan site. Um, Maybe you could just post teasers. That's what I plan on doing with the kids' book I'm creating. If we have time, I'll show you guys the cover I've already done. I'm assuming that's going to be black. Alrighty. Oh, so are you drawing illustrations then too? Or are you going to have someone else do the illustrations? I don't think there's actually, I think this part is open and like a G.I. Joe guy sits in it sometimes. But I'm going to give it this like there's a glass window. I don't really like drawing human shapes. So I like drawing still lifes and objects and landscapes and animals, but drawing people are hard. Oh, it's going to be just for you. Well, that's okay too. It's okay to make something just for yourself. Put a bit of shadowing there. Like that. I like that. But yeah, then if you're not worried about publishing it or anything like that, then you could put it all out there for anybody to see. And I might put just a few. Oh, on the Ko-fi? That's a good point, because then that's kind of like Patreon, where people would pay to subscribe to see it, and then you could make it so only the people who pay can see it, and that would be kind of cool. I had a Patreon once. I've never done the Ko-fi. That came out more recently. Um, I didn't have too much luck with the Patreon, even doing crochet or doing this. Didn't really matter. Not many people were all that interested. All right, I'm going to pull the picture of Gonzo back up because I realized I need to. There's a shadow there, I remember now. How am I going to do that? Let's put a ginger base. Is his belly white? Does Gonzo have a white belly, you guys? Or does he have an orange belly? I don't know if I can. Let's see. Gonzo the cat. Will it give me images of just. Oh, no, it just gives me Gonzo the Muppet. Oh, it gave me one of him wearing boots. But I need Gonzo's belly. You don't think it's white? Okay, so your character has a sister Clara. Is it Clara or Clara? When I think Clara, I think of Doctor Who. It was not one of my favorite sidekicks or companions. Let's see, I'm going to scroll real quick through Gonzo's. Oh, it is white. His belly is white. Okay. So let me put away this ginger color I had. And let me grab. Let's try this one. Yes, we're going to go with this one. Let's start with this. Oh, it can be any pronunciation of the Clara. Some people are sticklers with how their characters' names need to be pronounced, which is understandable if they that's a choice. You can not care or you can care because it's your creation. So, since it's a medical based story, are your characters doctors or does the medical issue happen to them? And then I think it's this one. Yep, 95. I need to have a shadowing right here. How is my day going? My day's pretty good. So I collect, though my collection is now complete. Let's see if I can grab my backpack. I'll show you guys. These little plush keychains. And this calico one was the one I was missing. So you buy a box and you don't know what's going to be inside. And I found out that the Hot Topic in the mall had more in stock. So I trying to decide while I'll talk what color I want to do that. I decided to bike out there. It's 14 and a half miles. What's this one look like? Yes, code blue. Oh, code blue is cardiac arrest. Okay. I think code red means, I thought I saw on a YouTube video, code red means that like there's a fire alarm going off. But yeah, I biked, and then where I biked it, there was the Nothing Bundt cakes along the way, so I got a bundt cake, and then I biked to the mall, had some Auntie Anne's. No, don't start that up again. Knock that off. I sat and ate some pretzel bites and worked on another art that my brother's having me create for his wedding on Friday. For each table people will sit at. Then I biked home. The only problem was by the time I was biking home, it was the hot part of the day. It was in the 90s and I ran out of water. Thankfully, along the way home, I passed one of the schools I teach at, and the engineer was still there. So he let me in to fill up my bottle and get a drink before I finished my ride home. So I think I'll sleep good tonight. I did not sleep very well at all last night. My body was tired, but my brain was not. What day is it today? For me, it is Wednesday. Wednesday evening. Afternoon, evening. For you, it might be, aren't you ahead? For you, it might be Thursday morning, middle of the night, between Wednesday and Thursday. Um, my brother's wedding is on Friday, so tomorrow I have to finish the place cards. Yes, crosser blocks. If you're in the US too, then it would be the same as me. If someone was in Europe, though, then since it's evening for us, it would be middle of the night, morning for them, depending on how far away they are. So the new for crosser blocks, is it 5:46 for you? Or are you in a different time zone? Oh, it's 11:45. Okay, so crosser blocks has the same time as me. 11:45. So is it 11:45 at night? Girl, you should be asleep. Though I guess tomorrow's not a school day for you. I love my sleep. But that's something that even when I was a teenager, they joke you're such an old woman because I wouldn't stay up late and hang out. I would just like I need to go to bed. But I prefer to wake up super early. I get up at 3 a.m. so I can go out and run. I'm training for a half marathon in the fall, and I hate running in the heat. I skipped yesterday's run because when I woke up, it was already like mid upper 70s, and with the humid, it's so humid here. It was already like touching 80, and I'm like, oh, they live in Australia. You don't get to go visit, or they don't get to come visit you? My favorite food, chocolate things. Though right now I've been craving pizza a lot. I guess it depends on what mood I'm in, sweet or salty. It's either going to be pizza or chocolate. Right now I've been wanting chocolate ice cream and pizza. What's your favorite food? I have a passport, but it is expired because it has a picture of infant me on it from when I came to the United States for the first time because I was born in Germany. And so my passport is for baby me. Ooh, garlic bread is good. Chicken and pizza. Now, do you like chicken on pizza? I have been on a plane, but only to travel around the states. To go to Florida for Disney. That's the only time I've been on a plane. No, we went to Nevada one time. Oh, you don't like chicken on pizza? My favorite pizza right now is with garlic or Alfredo sauce instead of marinara, and then chicken and little green onions, maybe some parmesan, like a chicken Alfredo pizza. It's a really good one at Domino's. It's and nose, says the commercial. I had that last week when my mom came over. She brought her dogs over so they could play with Katie did. Echo went out in his catio. That's his man cave. He's like, no, I don't want to deal with no dumb dog. But Katie likes her cousins. She also can't see them though, so maybe she just thinks they're very smelly cats. Okay. I feel like if you live anywhere in Europe, it's easier to go visit more. You're in third grade. Yeah, that tracks with some of the weird comments you've made. So, did you just finish third grade? Or are you going into third grade? But like visiting other countries in Europe, it's kind of like us visiting other states here in the US. Because a lot of your countries are kind of similar to our states' size. Um, so you're going into fourth grade. That also tracks with um, a lot of my fourth graders make comments like that. I just ignore them. They get over themselves. That or depending on what they're saying, I just blast them right back. Some I know their parents. They can go home and boo-hoo. Don't matter, I was just telling your child the truth. And they'll be like, yeah, yeah, you were. Oh, you're going to go into sixth grade. My school no longer has sixth grade. My district moved sixth grade into middle school. Is it sixth grade in middle school or elementary school in the UK? Yeah. Um, I swear it's not until some people like get into their 30s or 40s that they finally stop acting like elementary students. Okay. Here in the US, it depends on what district you're in. Some districts, some states, sixth grade is still in middle, or it's in middle school, and some of them it's still in elementary. My district is super huge. It's the largest one in the state. So I'd say 90%. Um, okay, so for Lola, it's still in primary. And Crosser Blocks, it's in middle school. So yeah, my district, I'd say 90%, 95% of the schools, sixth grade is in middle school. But there's a few sixth graders that they just, a lot of them are boys, are not mature enough to handle being in middle school. So they get rejected and sent back to elementary. So there's still a few schools that have sixth grade in elementary school because they just, either they just need that extra year of to mature or they just need that extra year to grow. It's not all they're immature and annoying. Yeah, what the heck? Yeah, some of them just they think they're all that and they get to middle school and they end up getting in a lot of trouble because they're super immature and still acting like an elementary kid. So they're like, "You gonna act like you're in elementary? Go back to elementary." I'm thinking that your primary, Lola, is what we call elementary here. Not sure if they use the term elementary in the UK. It was K6 elementary. We had a wonky 7-9 junior high. Whoa. For me, it was K6 was elementary, 7-8 was middle, 9-12 was high. I honestly would have preferred sixth grade. I wasn't still in elementary. Being with the same class, the same kids, the same teacher every day, all day, I did not thrive in that setting. I'm not good socially in person with, I was delayed socially in learning how to interact with others. 6-8 junior high, yeah, and that's what we have here. 6-8 is our junior high, middle school. Um, uh, so I really wish sixth grade, man. I don't know if you guys can hear that. My ice maker is super opinionated today. Element. To be fair, sometimes I can't even spell elementary. Sometimes my students are like, Miss, you spelled that wrong when I write on the whiteboard. It's like, well, that's now why I'm not a writing teacher. I'm a picture teacher. I tell them as long as we all spell our name correctly on our back of our artwork, we can all sound out what each other is writing. Because I do have to make them do different writing things about their artworks, reflections, and critiques and stuff like that. There's a big push for kids to be on grade level with reading and writing in my district. Oh, we're super close to done. School ended. Yes, school is also over for me as well. I'm on summer break. The It's always the week before Memorial Day in May is when my district ends. Um, and I chose not to do summer school this year. I'm actually instead this summer I'm selling stuff at the farmers market here in town. That's my summer job, that and making art. Pre-K to primary elementary and 3-5 intermediate. Okay, so some of your elementary schools are split into two different elementary schools. I get, yeah, I mean, yes and no. Um, I I I like certain parts of school. Even as a teacher, there are still some parts of school that I still think that stuff sucks. Um, uh, I think they make the kids do way too much standardized testing. I swear, every time I turn around, it's another state test. Um, I don't like the cookie cutter where every teacher has to be teaching the same math lesson at the same time. Like they even make all fifth grade teachers are teaching math at this hour in the whole district. It's like, why? They're trying to do that to art, but we won't. We have all been refusing. Um, oh, okay. Um, and some kids, some classes might grasp the fraction lesson and ready to move on, and some they might need another day on the fractions or the reading thing or the decoding or the science project. And they're cutting science. It's like, but science experiments are actually a lot of fun. Um, so I think the teachers need to be able to have a little bit of grace and teach so that the kids can actually comprehend and not just checking it off the list of we did it. Um, so yeah, I will agree. As a teacher, I agree there are still some parts of school that do suck. But I do enjoy being a teacher. I didn't mind school once I got to middle and high school where I wasn't stuck with the same kids in the same class all day. Yes, I have projects. So since I'm an art teacher, I get to do a lot of art history. I get to do a lot of different mediums, painting. I always tell the kids, I'm the cool class. I'm the most important class in the whole school. And they just roll their eyes. Of course, miss, you're the most important. More important than all of our math and reading and science and PE. And I'm like, uh-huh, thank you. I feel good. Yeah. Thankfully, we do have like two art tests. Um, a year, one each semester for each grade level, but one for every grade level is doing a self portrait. So my tests are just like you have to draw a specific subject, like a genre art or a still life or a symbolic self portrait, a geometric self portrait. Kindergarten, I like one of their art tests is they have to study flowers. So we look at the different parts of a flower, the life cycle of a flower, what bugs help flowers. And then they draw flowers, and we look at Van Gogh and O'Keeffe's flowers and Jacob Lawrence and Diego Rivero. And then we paint flowers. So that's what. Yes, and I mean, I do tell them it's a test, but then usually I tell them if you can do it with zero giving up, zero whining about it, then the next project is either clay or it's a free project where they get to like just pick a medium for their table and just have like a free art. So, um, and a lot of times it's just a culmination of we've been working on several projects with these specific skills. Let's now combine these skills into this one subject. But I always tell them, you don't have to stress about an art test. My tests are the easiest and best of the tests. Because you just have to draw me a picture or create something out of clay and have fun. Yeah, and I just tell them as long as they don't give up or whine about it, then, like, I see you how much effort you're putting in. So even if your picture isn't the prettiest, if I see you trying, I see you putting in the effort, that will count for at least half of your grade, if not more. So it's not just you need to make me the prettiest picture. Okay, so I'm almost done with this. I will finish this in the morning, and then I will post it on my social media, my Blue Sky, my Twitter. But it is 6 p.m., which means it is time for Katie to get her pill and their dinner. So I have to leave, and then I am going to go to bed. I am tired after that bike ride. But I hope you all have a wonderful day or night. Oh, it is a school night because it's not Friday. I cannot keep my day straight. So Lola, you have school tomorrow. But yes, I do have to go because I have to give Katie her pill. I can maybe get her to come out so you guys can see her real quick, though. Hold on. Katie, Katie Pillar. Oh, she's in my recliner. I'll take you to my recliner, you guys. There's my lady. Say it's time for your medicine. Yep, go to bed, Lola. Thank you. I don't know if I'll go live tomorrow. It depends on if I get my brother's wedding stuff done. But otherwise, my next live video will for sure be Sunday at 5 p.m. Central Time here in the US. And I will pick a cat to draw for my next one. Have a good day or night. See you all later. Kiss them goodbye, Katie did.